thing I love about Africa is tracks. They're called spores. We're on. Here we go, look at this fresh prints. There. She's onto me, she's already onto me. Here she goes.
Cheetahs are the fastest land animals in the world. They run down their prey with pure speed, and Steve's hoping he can keep up long enough to get a good look. She stopped, and there's a whole family group, 2 adults and cubs. 5 cubs, amazing. The average litter is 3, so this is really unusual.
How's this? This is what I've come here for, the Namibian cheetah. Out of all the countries in Africa that have cheetah, Namibia's got the highest percentage of wild cheetah. They've got a really interesting reproductive biology. The female comes on heat, and she indicates that in her urine. So as she sprays around the place, the male will smell that, and then they'll court for a couple of weeks. Mating will take place. Got about a 90-day gestation period, and so she'll use an aardvark hole as her lair, give birth, and then at around 8 weeks, when the babies are weaned off her milk, she'll bring them out into the big wide world, and she's really protective of them. And these little tackers here, they're just about ready for her to start bringing back live animals. So she'll go out and catch something, a smaller species like a hare, bring it back, still alive, and she'll teach her babies to capture live food. Another interesting point is there's 2 adults. The smaller one will be the female, and it looks like the other one's a male. Normally, the females are solitary when they've got cubs. And the males grow a little bit bigger than the females. I'm really pushing my luck to get closer. For the first time, the heat of the sun is actually working in my favour. These cheetah will just sit in the shade in the peak of the heat. They don't like the heat at all. Oh, she comes. Back up. You're all right. Look at those teeth. She's grumpy. Best I just show her that I'm big. I'm big, you don't want to attack me. And she's backing off. Thank goodness. Scary, huh? I probably outweigh her, but she's about 20 times as strong and fast as I'll ever be. Look at those cubs. Aren't they gorgeous? And that's what all that aggression's about. Looking after her babies. Like any mama, she loves her babies. And so these babies will travel with their mama up until they get about 18 months of age. They'll hunt together, sleep together, forage together, and then they've got to get out into the big wide world themselves. Females take about 2 years before they reach sexual maturity. So if any of these cubs are females, they'll go out and have about 6 months doing their own thing, reach sexual maturity, and so the breeding cycle goes. Really unfortunate for the cheetah that they copped a flogging. They've been shot out, poisoned, they've had a real hard time, habitat destruction. Now's the time, we've got to pull our socks up and bat for them. Conservation is everything for these things. They're endangered throughout the majority of their range. In fact, in a lot of areas, they've been extirpated, which is a local extinction. Very unfortunate for one of the most magnificent cat species in our world. The Namibian cheetah. Woo!
Heading into a new region, we find a whole new set of wildlife. We're moving north to the salt pans of Etosha to check out some of the big vegetarian species and the animals that prey on them. That includes the kings of Africa, the lions, apex predators, and the most powerful of all the big cats of Namibia.
This looks ominous. This looks real ominous. You can see how it's been totally eaten. Okay, and that's not by beetles. This has been eaten by a large carnivore. So that's an adult oryx. And there's only one animal that can take out an adult oryx. Look at that, picked clean. If there was any hyenas hooking into it, these bones would have been chopped. Springbok.
these will be lion kills.
And there he is. And he's a big bloke. This particular lion is one I'm really gonna have to be careful of. As a rule, I take risks with lions. I know what they're up to and they're easy to avoid. But this bloke's got an air of power about him, and you can see he's limping. That makes him a potential man-eater. I'm gonna have to watch him constantly while ever I'm in his territory, because he could run me down so fast I wouldn't get 50 feet before he pinned me. He's walking away from me, but I'm still nervous.
Lion, big male at that. So he's got a big dark mane. Of course, the mane is the sense of dominance and hierarchy.
He's not actually walking away from me. It's almost a circling pattern.
You see how he's got a bit of a limp? This would be a lion I want to keep my eyes on and keep a real big distance between me and him. An injured lion would certainly see a human as a target species, no doubt about that. The old, the debilitated, they're the ones that get a little naughty and have been known to attack, kill and eat people. Luckily enough, he's cruised up there into the cover of those bushes, which is a great chance for me to keep moving. Wildebeest. This is a really good sign when you see wildebeest, because they gotta be around permanent water holes. They can't go without water like the majority of the other big mammals found in this arid area. So this would be a great sign for a travelling bushman that there'd be a permanent water hole here somewhere. And you can see how they're nose down, heading in the one direction. They are going for water right now. Real interesting story with the wildebeest is the bushmen reckon that these were the last of the animals to be created. And they were made up of leftover bits and pieces, leftover parts of different animals. And you can see right out on the back of them there, back of those first three, there's a jackal. The old jackal always follows around these herd animals. Maybe there's going to be a bit of leftover food every now and again. And they'll keep an eye out for lions. If a lion makes a hit, the jackal's always in there ready to sneak a feed.
When Steve follows the wildebeest, sure enough, they lead him straight to a waterhole. It's teeming with wildlife, including a small herd of one of the prettiest and most graceful animals in Africa, the springbok.